da an saka ku kashe shi kun ba shi ɗaya ba ku tawo manzo Allah ku kashe shi babu wani hukunci ga zagin manzo Allah illa kisa in ka tubo wannan tsakaninka da Allah can in ya ga dama ya ga amma dai muna an ce mu kashe ka ku taba manzo Allah ku kashe shi kada ku tsaya faɗa ma hukuma a kashe ɗai.
Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, welcome. On this channel I discuss everything lifestyle, workplace navigation, and anything that crosses my mind really. So today I want to talk about a very disturbing incident that happened in Sokoto last week Thursday. I mean, it was really disturbing. So Deborah Samuel, a student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, was lynched by a fellow students. And what was the offense? They accused her of an alleged blasphemy on their WhatsApp group chat. So for those of you who don't know the story, a group chat was created according to Deborah. There was a group chat created amongst her peers and classmates that was actually supposed to be for the purpose of sharing educational materials, maybe tests or assignments or anything that they had. But then some religious fanatics began to share religious content on the platform. It was also alleged that one of them had asked Deborah how she passed a particular exam, and Deborah had responded that Jesus helped her pass or something along that line. And whoever asked the question, or a couple of students in the group, they got really upset that why was she referencing another god when they had a god. And for the life of me, I do not know why, I don't know why people would like to force their beliefs on you. But then, so Deborah was traced to school. I mean, the security guys were able to hide her for a while, and then the mob, it was alleged that they started chasing her in school, and she tried to run, she tried to escape. The school security was able to hide her for a while until they couldn't contain the number of the mob, that came looking for Deborah. Unfortunately, they got a hold of Deborah. They beat her, they stoned her, and they burnt and killed Deborah. I mean, can you imagine the horror that she went through, all because somebody perceived, blasphemy? And it was really unfortunate and very sad, because this act was perpetrated by people who were in College of Education. I mean, people who are supposed to be going to schools to teach children. Do you know the level of influence those type of people they wield on the environment? Because what will they be teaching kids? Like, do you ever wonder what those kind of people will be teaching children? I'm happy to announce that a couple of those guys have been apprehended by the police. I mean, they were apprehended, I think they were apprehended on Saturday. Anyways, before I get into that, this particular incident caused a lot of uproar on the internet, on Twitter most especially, and a couple of religious leaders, some leaders who are Muslims, some respected people in the society who are Muslims, also came to their Twitter handle to say certain things. One of them was Jamil Abubakar, and another person was Adamu Garba. Both of them tweeted, saying that Islamic religion has red lines that people supposedly should not cross. Now, my question to both of them is, do they mean that people should be killed because there are certain red lines that they crossed? Because I don't understand that. Like, that does not just sit well with me. Also, Atiku Abubakar also came out to make a tweet, on his handle to say that, also came to Twitter to tweet that, he condemned the gruesome murder of, the lady, was barbaric and all of that. And in the next instant, somebody tweeted responding to him that he has just lost a couple of million votes from the north. And the next thing that Atiku did was actually to go and pull down that tweet. Like, he actually deleted the tweet. He deleted the tweet, guys. He deleted the tweet because, of course, to him, The life of Deborah does not matter. The only thing that matters is his presidential ambition. Guys, that's somebody who is aspiring to be the Nigerian president. I mean, if this is not an indication that this man is not fit for that job, I don't know what is an indication. Anyways, he further went ahead and put another post to say that he did not approve of that tweet, and so therefore any tweets that will be coming from his handle must carry the initial AA, and that tweet was not from him. This basically tells you that this person is very, very funny, is a politician, of course, and this tells you how little, in fact, how insignificant the human life is to them. Like, how is Atiku Abubakar, somebody that plans to be the president of this great Nigeria? You should be able to stand, on your 2 feet when you make a decision. You should be able to stand with the good when you should be able to stand with the good. And when you are standing against anything bad, you should be able to stand against it with your full chest. But of course, he's a politician in Nigeria, and most of the time, we know how unreliable they are. We know how they are not interested in people's progress, and we know all about that. Anyways, Atiku Abubakar was not the only one. I mean, the chief imam of one of the Abuja Central Mosque also came out to say that the religion has certain red lines that people should not cross. So in Nigeria, as a Nigerian, you are afforded several fundamental human rights. Some of them are the right to life, like you have right to live a good life, and your right to the freedom of expression. You have the freedom of association. You can choose your own religion and a couple of other things. Now, the right to life is even non-negotiable. Like, you should be able to keep your life. And in the cases of Deborah and Dave, we've seen that people have snatched off their lives off them, and I pray that they get the culprits involved and they try them accordingly. Now, I'm going to really talk more on the freedom of expression, and there's this common question that's been going on around, and people have been asking that, is your freedom actually guaranteed after expression? Because the laws of the land actually, the Nigerian civil law and the Sharia law, actually they have, both of them have punishments for blasphemy. So when you say things, are you really free? Is that freedom of expression? Because freedom of expression is not guaranteed when there's a blasphemy, when there's a law against blasphemy in your constitution. So that negates that right? That's what I think. So the Federal Republic of Nigeria operates 2 court systems. Both systems can punish blasphemy. The Constitution provides a customary secular system and a system that incorporates Sharia. The customary system prohibits blasphemy by Section 204 of the Nigeria's Criminal Code. This is the law itself. Any person who does an act which any class of persons consider as a public insult on their religion, with the intention that they should consider the act such an insult, and any person who does an unlawful act with their knowledge that any class of persons will consider it such an insult, is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment for 2 years. So that's the law. Now, this is maybe like an explanation. The prohibition against blasphemy in the criminal code and the prohibition recognized by the Sharia law may not be lawful because Section 38 of the Nigerian Constitution entitles every Nigerian to freedom of thoughts, conscience, and religion, and Section 39 gives every Nigerian the right to freedom of expression. This is what I was speaking about when I say inside our own constitution, we say we have given people freedom of expression. But in our criminal code, we are saying that you cannot express yourself. Please, lawyers in the house or people that really have knowledge on laws, can you help us dissect and explain what this means? Because in layman's terms, it probably means that freedom after expression is not guaranteed, going by this. And you don't really have to, the sick part for me is, you don't actually have to commit any blasphemous offense. People just need to pursue you have committed any blasphemous offense, and if they are able to prove it, you go to 2 years in jail. But then we just read that he may negate it because we have freedom of expression. Like, how does it even make sense? Like, how does it even make any out sense to them? Like, how does it make any sense to those guys that when somebody, like, does it change how sacred, how holy, how anointed, how amazing the prophet was? It doesn't change anything about the prophet. It does not diminish him in any way. It does not diminish his glory. It does not diminish anything. And I don't think that they need defending. Honestly, I do not believe that they need defending. And that's why sometimes I struggle to understand if we practice the same Islamic religion. Honestly, I totally kind of struggle. When people like the video I'm going to play soon, when they come out to make such statements, they should be arrested and tried for inciting violence in the society. Honestly, they should. And you would agree with me at the end of the video when you see it. You would agree with me.
Ya zagi manzo Allah Sakkwato ya yi rubutu ga Facebook. Ya faɗi maganganun da ba su da daɗin faɗi game da annabin rahama. Kuma cikin Sakkwato nace a maka yayi kure. Ai ba Sakkwato ake irin wannan shiga taka. Mu kashewa mu kai. Mu akan manzon Allah akan mu kashe. Don haka ba Kano bace, Kano ƴan kasuwa ne. Shi yasa kaga an ce ma manzon Allah dan luwadi an tsaya ana jayayya. An ce ma manzon Allah kwarto an tsaya ana mu na kashewa mu kai. Wallahi kwadda ba manzon Allah mu akan mu da shi mu kashe. Allah ya gafarta mu wani yaro, naga wani bawan Allah jiya ga Facebook yace wai an ce mahaukaci ne, yace to ai mu ma mahaukata ne. Ai iyaka hankalin mu kai a taba annabi, ana taba annabi mun zama mahaukata. Wagga ita ce magana ta gaskiya. Allah shi muku albarka sakwatawan shehu. Duk wanda ya kalli Facebook da sauran social media da irin wanda an ka hito kwarkwata an ka ta gidan sarkin musulmi, ya nuna sakkwata suna nan bisa ga tarbiyyar da dan hodiyo yayi musu. Don haka Allah shi muku albarka. Da an sakai ku kashe shi. Magana bai da hankali bata taso ba. To bai da hankali duk bai da wanda yaka zagi sai manzo Allah. Mu ma bamu da hankali an taba annabi. Don haka duk irin mu bai da hankali bamu da. Da an sakai ku kashe shi. Kuma ba shi da duk wanda ya taba manzo Allah ku kashe shi. Bai da hukunci ko bille ya bai taba manzo Allah bai da hukunci illa kisa. Musulmi in ya zagi manzon Allah ko ya ce ya tuba, wannan tuba ce tsakani ne da Allah, amma dai sai mun kashe shi. Bai da hankali ya sanya ta ya sau waya, bai da hankali ya sanya sau data, bai da hankali ya sanya buɗe shahin Facebook, bai da hankali ya san da an kayo mai ya goge. Don mahaukaci ka waɗanga abubuwa, da kun gane ku kashe shi, da an sakai ku kashe shi. Kun ba shi ɗaya ba, ku taɓa manzo Allah ku kashe shi. Babu wani hukunci ga zagin manzo Allah illa kisa. In ka tubo wannan tsakaninka da Allah can in ya ga dama ya ga, amma dai muna an ce mu kashe ka. Ku taɓa manzo Allah ku kashe shi. Kada ku tsaya faɗa ma hukuma a kashe ɗai.
This video is super disturbing. Like, there's a religious leader out there who sends his followers to go and kill people. And the annoying part of it is not even the fact that he says it. It's the fact that they echo what he says. They actually believe that it's right. And a lot of them are actually going to carry out the things that he said they should do in that video. In a country where there is war, we are in a mess. So religious leaders need to really be careful the kind of things they say to their followers, because most of these guys are not educated. Most of these guys, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think they have a brain that is functioning for them. Because if you have a brain that is functioning, you have a brain that you use. If they had brains that they used to think, if they had brains that are functioning, somebody will not outrightly tell you to go and kill people, and you go and kill people. You will not say because of an alleged blasphemy you're going to kill another person. I mean, Deborah was killed by some people that she would have called friends, people she sat in class with, her classmates. So you can imagine the level of sickness that is in those people's heads. Now, I think this problem is deeply rooted in the fact that majority of the youth in the north, they are not educated, and I think the politicians have intentionally left the north that way they intentionally did not develop the north. They're intentionally not encouraging northerners to go to school and all of that because they want to continue to use them to win elections. I'm not going to say more than that. I feel that government should put like a structural program in place to ensure that people in the north actually do go to school. The only place they go to school, the only kind of education they get is like that Arabic education. And I think if they get the Western education, it's going to be nice so as to open their eyes to a couple of things. I remember a conversation I had with my brother some time ago, after we just grew up and all of that. And then we're just having this conversation. I'm just like, there are a lot of things that we are unlearning from this religion based on the things that they taught us in the past. I mean, a lot of things that they taught us in the past that we're not seeing in the Holy Quran. And there are some things that we're relearning, some of the things that they told us that we should not do that are actually okay for us to do. So we're unlearning and we're relearning. So that is the essence of having education, or that's the essence of having exposure, or that's the essence of being informed, of not being ignorant. Because if somebody is just somewhere feeding you some sort of information, that person will just be taking it in all this kind of information. The person does not even have maybe the liberty to confirm this kind of information, or just, I know I can't entirely blame it on the religious leaders, but the truth of the matter is they play a role and they should really, really, really be checked. Also, another thing that I'm thinking about is the circle or the body of Islamic religion in Nigeria. All the bodies should come together, think of a way to resolve these issues, because we can't keep having people just killing people, anyhow people. These are human beings that we're talking about. There's hardly a year that death like this does not occur in the north. In the north is not the only place we have Muslims. Why is it that year on year, if not every quarter of every year, why is that this kind of things happen? It's because the government has not taken responsibility. The government has also not done the right things. The government has also not prosecuted people that have been found guilty of these crimes. I mean, there are some people that are presently in government right now that have incited this kind of violence in the past. But then they are in government, and these are things these people look up to, that if so person can do this. If so person can, somebody that we know when he was in school was involved in this kind of fiasco, and the person is actually in government serving right now. So when these guys think back and then look at these people, these are their role models, and they're like, so person did it, and so person is at the realm of affairs today in this country. And these are things that encourages them to continue to do this vile acts. I'm really happy on the position that Sokoto government has taken, and I'm super happy that they've apprehended some of those guys. I pray that they apprehend all of them, they try them with murder, and they face the full wrath of the law, because they actually deserve. So that said, Islamic bodies should come together and think of how to resolve this issue, because we keep saying that Islam is a religion of peace, and we find that the attitude, the characteristics of certain Muslims from certain side of the country keep on making us try super hard, in fact too hard, to continue to, to continue to defend the peacefulness of Islam. So if there's anything they can do, if they can come together, form a body, speak to them, do whatever, just think strategically to say that, what can we do to end this madness that is going on in the north? Should it be that before you can become a religious leader in Nigeria, should it be passed into law? Should they go and say that, okay, because you can become a religious leader in the north or anywhere in Nigeria, you should have gone through certain levels. Maybe you should be educated, maybe you should have graduated from Arabic school and a couple of other things, just like the Christians do. They go to pastoral schools. The government actually has to take a firm stand, like all those people that are involved in the death of Deborah, and all the people that have been culprit to this kind of killing at any point in time should actually be brought to book. They should be tried, and they should be made to face the law squarely. I think it's high time that the government does that. And also, I think the abolishment of Sharia law should start happening. Conversations should start happening around the abolishment of Sharia law. Nigeria is not a Muslim country. Nigeria has different diverse we have different ethnic groups, we have different religions, we have different everything. So no religion should come and impose their beliefs on another religion. Live and let's live. It's that simple. So when this entire fiasco started, I was having a conversation with somebody and they were like, is this a religious issue? And honestly, I do not think that it's a religious issue. I think to an extent some religious leaders have they contribute to it, which makes it partly a religious issue and partly, should I say, is civil. I don't want to say civil issue. It's not an entirely a religious issue because this is not because of the religion. We have Muslims in the east, the west, and the south of the country, and Muslims don't. These kind of Muslims don't go around killing other people, and they are very liberal, very respectful of other people's religion. So I don't think this is entirely a religious issue. Do I think in a way that religion also contributes to it? I think so. And I also think, ignorance, lack of education. So education, it does not just only mean schoolroom education. It means exposure sometimes, because when you're exposed to things, your brain is open, you're thinking like a human being, then you are educated, and then you begin to weigh things on the scale. Like, if they say I should do this, does it really make sense? Is this humanly right? And I also think because, in this country, even the government does not value the life of its citizens. So, there are too many cheap deaths in this country. There are too many cheap deaths. And I pray that with every unrest going on in the country, I pray that everything ends very soon. And I pray that God continue to protect each and every one of us. Guys, please be careful out there. God will continue to protect you. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please subscribe. Please subscribe if you haven't. And thank you so much for coming. You can please like, share, comment. Let me know what you think about this entire fiasco. Bye.